After posting my video on censorship, I might as well watch the Moist Critical censorship one. Because he does a really good job explaining it, but I also want to add a little bit to it. But yeah, this is like a subsequent battle pretty much every time, which is basically there are always going to be people that want to take your rights and freedoms away because it gives them more control over not only you, but over pretty much your entire life and what you can do and what you can judge and what you can't do. The problem is everyone always wants to be overly sensitive and bend over to like these women that pretty much ruin everything in society just because they feel like it. But at the same time, none of their views actually align or make any sense to begin with. These people are literal parasites that are doing their best to take over the world with their ideology, which is what I feel at the time is what happens. That's the reality. There's no logic, there never has been. It's what they feel, it's who has the most emotional talking point, and it's who can take advantage of the most emotional people. Anyways, let's get into this. This is the Moist Critical. Don't be fooled by this. Anyways, here we go.
If I asked you to give me your ID to watch this video, provide some form of
Mm-hmm.
identification, what would you tell me?
I tell you to fuck off. That's exactly what I tell you.
I hope your answer would be a resounding no, telling me to go eat dirt. Because that's not just like some kind of innocent, annoying question. That's legitimately just an assault on your freedom. It's
Exactly it. Because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep censoring things that they don't like. It's never about protecting children. It never has been. It's always been about coddling the correct ideology while making sure everyone else suffers in exchange for what they believe to be the true and correct thing the world should follow, and nobody else should have a different opinion on it. They want to censor everything that's violent, everything that's even potentially controversial, because they feel like it. But in exchange, they always forget that that pretty much voids reality of what the true world is, which is the entire world isn't some nice, cuddly place. The entire world is fucked up, messed up, and many terrible things have happened over the entirety of our history. Since the days we were cavemen to right now, there is always something bad that's gonna happen. And basically attempting to keep kids from learning about the world until they're 18. Then once they kick them out and throw them out to the world, they're surprised that their parenting completely failed because the kid was not prepared for all that pressure, because the parents themselves failed to show them exactly how the world works. And then in exchange, companies and people take advantage of them too, because nobody taught them anything. Nobody taught them how to live. Nobody taught them how to survive. Nobody taught them finances. But you know what they did teach them? Violence bad. Naked women in video game bad. Hot women bad. Shooting people in GTA bad. That's everything they teach them. And these women, I hate them because they basically kicked men out of pretty much all their spaces because they felt like it. And now that men have a monopoly on video games because that's one of our last few truly safe spaces left, they want to take control of it too. But yeah, this is the reason why a lot of people are pissed off in general. And to be honest, these women, nothing but problems. Every day and every night. All they do is cause problems, never fix anything, and then expect us to take the fall for if their plans completely fail, instead of them taking accountability for their own actions. Anyways, I'm sorry to go on that long ass rant, cause dude, I'm so like pissed off and heated off about this, man.
an extremely scary and
Hmm.
concerning direction the online space is heading. No longer is this just the wacky wild west of the World Wide Web where Timmy
Exactly.
Turner once surfed on an email and Fairly Odd Parents. Now
Yep.
it is actively being censored. We're
It's always been censored, and it always has been censored. The problem now is enough people noticed it to really tell just how bad the censorship is getting. Because stuff like this was happening in 2024, stuff like this was happening in 2016, stuff like this was happening in 2014. Like, all of this has always been happening. And it's always been leading up to this. And now the internet is a unforgettable force because most people spend all their time on the internet rather than real life. Before it was a bunch of nerds playing on computers that, you'd think didn't matter at all, or sending emails to your family and posting pictures, and that was it. But now it's you have such an enormous set of media which you could spend your entire lifetime on and pretty much never leave and always find something new. That's how big the internet truly is now. The internet is pretty much beyond real life at this point. It is the general source of media everyone uses to do any task in life. Almost everything.
Seeing that happen a lot. Censorship is spiraling, especially in video games, with Collective Shout getting Steam and itch.io, two separate platforms, to remove hundreds and hundreds of games that they deemed highly harmful and, deplorable. So they had the Visa and MasterCard come forward, threaten to pull out of them and bully them into...
Yep, that's what they did. A bunch of Australian women basically moaned, bitched, and complained until eventually some higher up decided to do it. Like, they're bullying an American company. You're supposed to follow our laws. You're following the laws of some fat women in Australia. Like, that's absolute bullshit.
Submission. They got him in the fucking headlock. So then they just went belly up and played ball, removing all of these titles, which, by the way, was not just freaky gooner games. In itch.io's case, people have learned over the last few days, tons and tons of games have been de-indexed that didn't...
Yep, exactly. And that was the point. The entirety of saying adult games and, games like rape and sexual assault games was a farce. The reason is they're going to take out the majority of those games, and then they're going to sprinkle in a few extra games that they're taking out as well from that list. And what they're going to do is, over time, take more and more and more and hope you don't notice. And that's the reality of it. It never was about porn games. It always was about taking away your freedoms and taking away other sources of media that are pretty interesting and have different ideas that may not be popular compared to what these women want.
Have any porn in them at all. So it wasn't just like rape and incest weirdo games. It was any game, or mini games included, that are just darker themes, that have more like adult themes in them with no like sexual content. It's absurd, and it's something everyone could have seen coming. Anyone with a functioning frontal lobe could tell you that censorship is not something to be celebrated.
Yep, it's always that. Because the moment you give them an inch, they take another one and another one and another one. And then they're shocked and surprised when you're mad at them. They're like, oh, but we just want to protect the children. Like, what children? These games were all 18 plus to begin with. That was the protection on children. If you failed to keep your kid off that game, it's your fault for being a complete and utter illiterate retard when it comes to the internet.
When you try and target low-hanging fruit, something easy like gross, disgusting porn games that are all about like incest and shit, you'll get a lot of clapping seals like, yippee, you saved us. What they don't realize is that it doesn't stop there. That is just the beginning. That just opens the door. So
exactly, that's the thing. These guys always use talking points on like, oh, we're only going to take away this little problem. Then next thing you know, what this little problem was extends to more things, slowly and slowly poisoning everything else until they have total control of what you can and can't do anymore.
That way they can censor even more. It is absurd and out of control, but I'm going off on a tangent. The point is,
so was I.
The internet is under attack in a large way across the board, not just in gaming. I'm sure all of you have seen what's happening in the UK right now with their Online Safety Act, where now to access a myriad of content, you need to provide your identification.
Yep, that's true. Hey, you want to look at tits? Give me your government ID. Yeah, but these people have been doing this for a long-ass time. They've done it to free speech pretty much since it was created in the first place. They've been doing it to the Second Amendment as much as they could over the goddamn years. These people want to basically be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, but without any of the accountability or responsibility of having that role. They basically want to do whatever they want and never be held accountable for it, always holding you accountable for your actions instead. But when it comes to them, oh, they're just nice, innocent little girls who mean well, and that's all they ever will be.
That's not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we were all taught growing up, never take candy from a stranger, don't talk to strangers, say no to that kind of shit. You should also be taught to say no to this too.
Yep. And that's the thing. Kids were not taught to say no. Kids were taught to obey, be disciplined, and follow exactly what the school wants. That's the problem. And these people, over time, have done a very good job at basically brainwashing hundreds of people into believing their ideology so they could pass all their destructive acts and bills in order to take away your personal rights, your personal freedoms, and make you the bad guy at the end of it anyways.
You should not be providing your ID willy-nilly online. That is not something that should just be loosey-goosey, no care in the world. Oh, here's all my personal identification. Here, yeah, take it. That way I can access fucking Wikipedia. By the way, Wikipedia is actually affected by this. Now, in some cases, it's not providing an ID. It's instead providing your face. It will scan your face, so you're giving them your biometric data in that case. Again, big time no-no. I shouldn't be the one to come in here and teach you why privacy is important, but
Yep, exactly. It's the responsibility of your parents. Oh, hey, don't show this guy your social security. Oh, hey, make sure you use credit cards wisely, because if you don't, they're gonna fuck you in the ass and make you pay for it the rest of your life until you're dead. Oh, hey, don't run on the street when cars are there, because cars are giant pieces of metal that could easily destroy you. And you're not Superman, you're not an anime character. Like, these are all things that parents should be teaching their children. Not, oh, you can do anything you want. Oh, actually, yes. It's the equivalent of your kid runs outside because you never taught them cars are dangerous, jumps into a car, then you arrest the guy who was in the car for the kid jumping on the street even though it's not his fault. Then, afterward, you make sure everybody's kids are strapped by literal chains inside their house, never letting them outside because it's dangerous. Then after that, bubble wrap everything around them because now they're super safe. And then feed them the most brain dead, inoffensive garbage that has absolutely no entertainment value whatsoever. Then be surprised they grow up to be brainless zombies when you throw them out to the real world.
Hope somebody has. This is not a good thing. So in some of these processes, it's not always required to give your full ID and your fucking, credit card statements or anything. Instead, some may ask to scan your face and everything.
Yep. And the problem is, a lot of these companies, if they ask for that, they're going to take that information and sell it. Credit card people already do that 99% of the time. Everyone pretty much has your information. That's why you get 50 calls saying, oh, do you want car insurance? Oh, do you want insurance? Do you want this credit card? That's how they figure it out. You give it to a company, then they sell it to someone else, and that person sells it to someone else, and then it becomes pretty much public knowledge between companies what you do and don't like, and what they should and shouldn't feed you through a spoon.
Also still frowned upon. You still shouldn't do that either. This bill was paraded around like it was some righteous, legislation that was aimed at protecting kids from accessing harmful content on.
And that's how it always happens. Oh, actually, you can't have guns because guns kill kids and killing kids is bad. Oh, you can't have knives because they kill kids and killing kids is bad. Oh, you can't have a butter knife because it kills kids and killing kids is bad. Oh, you can't have video games because they kill people in fake worlds and killing people in fake worlds is bad. That's how it always goes. They keep going and keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking until eventually you have nothing left. Then they realize they gotta take more. Now they gotta take your rights to reproduce.
Specifically porn. I'm sure a lot of you, if you've got your thinking caps on, if you're activating neurons, can probably recognize a pattern since basically the beginning of time, the beginning of the internet here, where porn is always used as this ultimate boogeyman. It's the Galactus level threat that they always have to pass legislation to.
And the reason is simple. It's because those are fat, overweight women that no man pays attention to. So they want to take your right to access beautiful women. And once they do, maybe, just maybe, you might sleep with them. That's the reality.
Combat. And to people that don't want to do any thinking and would rather have all their thoughts put into their head by the government on what they should and should not support, it sounds like a nice notion. You don't want kids having access to harmful content like porn online.
That's why you make sure you're a good parent and do it yourself. Not only that, but this is the most retarded part about it. If parents learned that there are some routers out there that allow you to actually control what websites people on it can and can't go on, you wouldn't have this problem. Your router company did this for you. They gave you the right to censor things on your behalf that you don't want your kids seeing. It's literally that simple. You just censor every porn site. You also censor content that you don't want. And then boom, your kids can't watch it because they don't have access to it because the router doesn't allow them to see those things. Or you can even censor things on their phone yourself. You don't need a company to do this throughout the board for everyone else. It already exists, but these people, instead of seeing that that is the solution to the problem, see as the solution to the problem taking away a man's steak because a baby can't chew on it.
That makes sense, but the second you make like George and get a bit curious and, God forbid, get into your ponder stance and start thinking and look into these type of pushes, you will recognize the goal is not to protect kids. It's
Never
not
has
to
been.
protect
Never will be.
anyone from anything. These are called Trojan horses,
Yep.
where they push these through under a false pretense like this with so many huge detrimental consequences attached to it.
Yep. And to make it worse, basically taking advantage of them and making sure that they control them. Then after that, they control the narrative. They always take advantage of the most emotionally vulnerable people in society to pass these ideals. Because if you're emotionally stable, you'd know this is retarded. That's why they don't go after you. Instead, they go after those people. Then those people can do the dirty work and go after you themselves.
That impede on your freedom. They use this idea of protecting kids from harmful content as a way of getting this bill across the line that has really bad stuff in it. There is nothing good about handing over your freedoms. And it's even...
Actually, there is something good, which is they can make more money off of you and make sure you never say anything bad about them. That is the good part. It's not good on your end, but it is good on the company's and the government's end.
Even more sad how few people even recognize it happening in front of their face. And even beyond that, even more pathetic is the people that are happy about it, that don't mind giving away all of their personal information. This act was not about protecting children from accessing porn. It did not just require ID to be provided for porn sites. It was required for anything that they deemed maybe potentially opening up children.
Yep. Thousands of websites hosting adult content, including major platforms like TikTok, Reddit, and X, have introduced a stricter systems for the UK under the new Online Safety Act. By the way, the biggest reason X is related to this is because X has free speech, and the moment free speech is under attack, everything else is like pretty much game and easy to do. But Jesus Christ. Yep, let him access, harmful. If you go on X there, it's probably just all censorship with actually nothing useful besides that. But yeah.
To harmful content that includes Discord features. It includes some forums. It includes Twitter. It includes Reddit. Anything that could even be moderately argued opens them up to like adult content or harmful subjects is...
Yep. And here's the truth. Why the fuck do kids need a social media app? If you want a social media app for kids, make one strictly for kids and have very heavy regulation and enforcement on it because it's strictly for kids. But don't make it so that adults have to basically bend over and take it in by the government just because you want kids to be protected on an app that was never made for them in the first place. Are you supposed to be over 14-year-old to have a goddamn Twitter account in the first place? Like, come on.
Hit by this, requiring them to have age verification in place where you will need to provide an ID to prove you are 18 years or older in order to grant access to that. You know the whole meme of like, oi, you got a license to be breathing that air? Where it's all about like how over the top the UK is with this kind of bullshit.
Yep, well, and they are. That is not a meme. That's always been a reality. It's just that more people are waking up to it.
It has become beyond parody, where you actually need a fucking license to send Discord shit. You need a license for Wikipedia articles, basically. Wikipedia is being hit by this, by the way. And they're trying to...
And that's also a shitty part. They're going to censor history that they don't like. They're going to censor things that they don't like. Then they're going to be surprised when someone repeats it and be like, oh, I don't know what's happened. Oh, this is bad. Like, come on.
Plead their case here about how detrimental this is. Trying to bring some kind of sanity and reason back to the UK here in some capacity. I know this word gets tossed around a lot by a bunch of Redditors when tipping their fedora at anything they don't like, but this actually is dystopian. This...
Damn! I haven't heard that word in like one day. But yeah.
This is preposterous.
Damn.
This was never designed to protect kids from accessing harmful things like porn. It was designed for control and surveillance of their citizens. And it's being proposed in the US as well.
Yep. Always has been, always will be.
If you thought this was an exclusive thought process just for the UK, you're very wrong. America would love to get their fingers in our buttholes as well. And we now have the Kids Online Safety Act that has been reintroduced in late May that aims to do something very similar here. It's a very common tactic where these proposed legislations will have things like, we have to protect the children, you know?
Yep, and that's the thing, because it makes you feel bad. They're more than willing to do that. They don't care. They pretend they're on the moral high ground. That's the reality.
Another classic meme, think of the children. Well, it's a meme for a reason because it is the go-to strategy for a lot of politicians because it's very easy to drum up support under this false pretense. It is not about protecting kids.
It never has been.
This isn't actually trying to stop kids from accessing porn. It is a convenient way for them to control your information and spy on you freely, openly, and easily. It is all...
They already spy on you. They just want to use it to spy on you more.
All about surveillance, control, and censorship. And all I can do is sit here and cross my fingers and toes while kissing a rabbit's foot that we are lucky enough that this will be shot down as it has in the past in this country. But it's not guaranteed. Obviously, most people don't want kids accessing porn. And in an age where information can spread so quickly, so wrongly, there's a lot of people that might hear the tiddlywinks about this bill, think it's doing something that it's not, and support it. It's very possible. There has never been an easier time to get some really damaging freedom overturning bills passed than right now.
I disagree with this part. There's always been times like that. For example, when slaves were freed, what did they do? Literacy tests to take away their freedoms that they just recently earned. Like people have been doing this for beyond just now. It's always happened throughout history, and it's always us that have to fight against it. It's not something that only happens once and everything's hippity hoo-ha and hooray. It happens throughout history, and we always have to continuously fight it because people will continuously want to use it as a means to get power.
Because you control so much information so easily, and most people don't bother to spend even a fucking iota of a second researching any of that.
Oh yeah, dude. Like half the time people just ask Grok, and he gives them, to be honest, a pretty well-informed answer, but, you know, it doesn't have the full context of everything, and then people take that as law, which I like Grok, but it's a tool to be used for us to expand our knowledge or maybe understand something that we didn't know before, but we should do our own research and figure it out ourselves after that bite-sized piece of history is fed to us. Because it's nice getting bite-sized pieces of history, but it's not nice pretty much using that as the ayatollah of correct ideals in terms of that.
The topics. It's just a really concerning mix of ingredients here for like the possible perfect storm of no longer having an internet that you can access without providing identification. For some reason, It's become highly accepted and normalized that the internet is expected to cater to children being on it completely unsupervised.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Which is parents don't want to take responsibility because taking accountability means realizing that you fucked up your kid's life and it's your fault that they came out to be a brain dead zombie or they got hurt in the past because of your lack of attention to making sure they were prepared for the real world and understood how things go.
And while that does happen, that is the fault of the parent, and the blame lies solely on the parent refusing to do their job in raising their own fucking kids. It is not the internet's responsibility to do that for them. Now, I know it's been very common for parents to just sit their kids in front of an iPad, creating these iPad kids, setting them up for failure, really, by refusing to actively be a part of their life and raise them. But that doesn't mean that the internet needs to step in and change to do it for them. There needs to be the onus placed back on the household. The parents should be once again in charge of raising their kids. That's how it used to be, and that's how you had.
That's how it should have been in the first place. But, these people can't actually understand how to take care of a kid, so they want other people to do it for them. People always choose the easiest way out because it basically abstains them of actual accountability for the actions they did themselves.
Normal people develop, not like this, not under the thumb of the government sticking its nose in your business. It is terrifying. Why have we just gotten to the point where we excuse bad parenting and instead force the internet to be the ones to be the parental figure, where everything is like babied to ensure a kid doesn't accidentally access fucking Wikipedia or something?
Like, come on, Wikipedia of all things, and all it does is tell you things that happened. That's the main purpose of Wikipedia. Just telling you what happened, when it happened, why it happened, and that's basically it.
It's completely preposterous. And on top of that, it's downright dangerous for everybody. You shouldn't be providing your identification and all of this data like this. It's just not good. And I really hope we don't see it come to America. I wanted to put all of this on your plate here, put it on your radar, because this is not something good. Don't let the propaganda fool you. It is not aiming to actually protect anybody or anything. It is solely for control and surveillance, trying to get more data from you to monitor your activities and ensure you are the drone they want you to be. This is not a good thing. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, I'm glad that he has such a huge reach, because I could talk about this all day and pretty much nothing would happen, but he could talk about this for even like half a second and people would be bitching and moaning about it. But yeah, I'm glad that he has the power he has, because a guy like him is great. Guys like that, where they basically tell you the truth and aren't there for some secondary means, I really like them as like influencers and YouTubers. I don't like those people that are famous but use it in order to either gain more power or lie to you or abuse your trust in order to get something out of you. But yeah, that's pretty much all. And before I end this video, I just wanted to say I actually want to buy this statue. Like the Nameless King, I saw this. Dude, that shit is expensive, but I actually really want to buy that. Just that alone. I like his entire background, but I really want that. I really want that Nameless King statue in my own room. That looks super cool. But anyways, that's pretty much all. And yeah.